Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. It is Thursday afternoon, 3 p.m. here in sunny and warm Georgia. Currently, the temperature is 73 degrees on Veterans Day, November 11th, 2021. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't, perfect, perfect weather outside right now. I did have the garage door open and I was working on the Honda, doing some stuff with that. And to close the door because it's too much sunlight, makes it hard to do this. So you put your neighbor across the street running his kids here, his bobcat, you try to put it in the driveway so you can make all kinds of noise. You know, I did this before. This is our live streams we do on Mondays and Thursdays. Monday night is at 7. And we try to talk about classic cars or problems that car people are having, or supply issues, parts, and whatever, all that stuff. Um, and you can probably maybe I don't know. Right now, it's showing the Wi-Fi symbol on my feed, which tells me that it's not running as good as it should or could be. So hang in there. Sometimes this gets a little fuzzy. Maybe it's just me, and then it clears up. But right now, I know on Monday we had a great stream. Had a great stream. Had no issues at all. Thursday, not so good. So anyway, hang in there. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Um, I'll have to talk about some things I did this morning, but let's see who's here first. Crash Rider, hello from rainy and nasty Southern Indiana. Time for some sunshine and warmth from Joe Daddy. Be sure to like by hitting the thumbs up button. Yes, by all means, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you, thank you. Troy, good afternoon from sunny, warm coastal Georgia. Yeah, I'm sure it's nice there too. It's 73 degrees. Oh, it just feels perfect outside right now. Jerry came from Money Pit, Middle Tennessee. Let me tell you though, glad you're Jerry. I was checking my weather, on the phone, and it's supposed to be 73 today, which 73 is what the magic number is. It says it right there, 73. Um, but tomorrow will be 66, Saturday 54, 57, 54, 63, 68. So it's kind of in between. It's not bad, but it's going to get into the mid 30s overnight the next week, which is fine. It needs to cool down some. Unfortunately, it never seems to be enough to get rid of all the mosquitoes and junk we have here in Georgia, but it's the way it is. Let me see. It's already trying to lag me. Jerry, yeah, good afternoon from Middle Tennessee. Yes. Ron, greetings everyone from the Tri-Cities in North Tennessee. Great to hear. Glad you were here. Sorry. Boogie Bomb afternoon, everybody. Yes. It is a good afternoon. CSL RC Lauren. Good day, all. Glad you're here. Donald Rice. Hi, Barry, from pretty warm Pennsylvania. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been following the weather across the states, but it seems like, we used to have, like, if you go back in the 70s, when it was global cooling and all that, and whatever, we had snowstorms after snowstorm after snowstorm, and it doesn't seem to be doing that so much anymore. And I'm not blaming it on anything in particular. I'm just saying the weather, it's cyclical. It changes. And sometimes it's, you end up with a cold winter and lots of snow, and other times you don't. Hopefully we can maintain where I'm at with the weather today. Boogie Bum, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, Barry. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And all others who serve. Yes. Plenty of us out there in this country. Dave Conville, hello all. Glad you're here, Dave. Greg's Workshop, checking in from Australia. Glad you're here. Brendan, checking in from New Zealand. Good morning, Barry. Holiday here today, so day off work, long weekend. Good. That sounds awesome. Let's see. Rick, internet is usually more bogged down during business hours, which is why you may be having problems during the afternoon that you didn't have in the evening. That's a possibility. And I tend to think that, I'm the only one here right now at our house. There's nobody else around our, hooked to it right now. stumbling over words. Angry Andy, afternoon from rainy North Bama. Glad you're here. And Wagon Rod, hello from rainy and chilly Southwest Ohio. Glad you're here. So we're covering some ground here. We're covering some ground. I do have some things I want to talk about. You know, I've posted a couple of videos so far on the Honda Civic rebuild, and that's been fun actually. I mean, most people are going to go, "That's not fun." Well, it is kind of fun because I did collision work while doing restoration work for about 8 years, and you know, it's as long as it's not a heavy hit that is going to require, you know, frame pull and all that. It's just doing sheet metal work, you know, repositioning things, welding stuff together, which is all what I like to do anyway. Auto Salvage Outlaws. Hello, Joe. Glad you're here. So anyway, you know, I bought parts for this Civic, you know, several months back, and bought a variety of things. I bought the hood, the bumper cover, fender, headlights, brackets, and different things like that. And I knew I was going to need all that stuff. And I failed to realize that I could have done it a different way. And what I mean by that is I have, you know, in the past, we would buy parts from LKQ or, you know, aftermarket companies or even direct from Honda, whatever we were working on. And so I was thinking I'm going to have to, you know, get some aftermarket parts because I don't want to pay OE prices, right? So that's what I did. And I was fine with that. I really was. But I started putting things together and I realized it's some of the little things that get you caught up whenever you're doing these. So it's one thing to put in a core support. That's, you know, a big piece of metal. You weld it in, great. It's all the pieces that attach to that core support. So in a collision, you get stuff bent. You get all kinds of stuff bent. It could be the hood, it could be the core support, the radiator, it could be, you know, busting the headlights, bumper. And then it's the little brackets. Because these cars are held in, they have a bunch of little brackets all over the place. Well, that's what was holding me up. I ended up having a bunch of bent brackets, and I thought I even talked about it in some of the video. Maybe it's in the next video. But I said, "Oh man, I'm going to have to straighten this stuff out." And as it went on, I realized I was missing something. It wasn't that major, but I was missing something. I was missing one of the rubber bumpers that holds the radiator in. Is it that critical? Probably not. But I like to have all the pieces, you know, to put the puzzle back together. And I thought, well, where am I going to go to get this bracket? Where am I going to get this rubber bushing from? Or do I have to make one? Then I had a memory. There's up the road from us, not 5-6 miles, is a U-Pulley yard. And I forgot all about that place. Had I remembered that U-Pulley yard was here, I probably wouldn't have bought the aftermarket parts, or at least not most of them. So this morning, I drove up to the U-Pulley yard, and I shot some video in there and walked around and realized all the parts that I needed were right there. All the parts. So I found a Honda that had just shown up. I mean, it was a pretty nice car, and all the little brackets, you know, for the AC condenser, the hood, or the radiator, the battery tray, which was bent. And I was going to straighten it out. I thought, well, right there's a battery tray. Just get that too. Then I started doing some more scavenging. And I realized that one of the cool things about going to the U-Pulley yard is, let's say you find all these little pieces that you need, but you can also pull all the little clips and plugs that you may be missing, or, you know, they broke or whatever. So I was popping all kinds of clips and push pins and tossing them in my box. All the extra bolts and everything else was going in the box. And then I also remembered I had a bad headlight plug. There's one right there. Cut it off. That's going to go in the car. Well, another thing that I thought later on, or I thought about while I was there, I had ordered a new hood hinge, you know, for the passenger side, because I thought the driver's side was okay. And it turns out I was wrong. I knew I should have replaced them both. And what I ended up doing, I had ordered one from Amazon for like $10. And I thought, okay, fine, let it come. Well, it wasn't supposed to show up till tomorrow. So this morning I went to the utility yard and I started, gathering up all that stuff. And sure enough, I find a Honda almost the exact same color as this car that had a good hood on it. And the hood hinges were fine. So popped the hood, pulled it off, got the hinges, got a variety of things. And, basically they charge like $7 for the hinge. That's fine. It's cheaper than my Amazon cost. They charged me $7 for the battery tray. That's fine. It's got good paint on it and everything. In fact, it's already put it in the car. So I ended up buying both the hinges for the hood because the one that was on here I put on was black. Now I don't have to do anything with that. Matches the body color. So a variety of things that I didn't think about. Now, my mind was debating on whether I should go back and get the hood that I had of that car, which is basically the same color. The difficulty is the hood that I have, I bought it from Summit and I probably had it too long to return it. It's one of those kind of things. So I thought, I'll just go ahead and use that hood, an aftermarket fender and a bumper cover, and it'll be fine. But just, you don't think about it immediately, but you should. If you're ever redoing one of these type of things and you need those little pieces and parts and clips and stuff, find a U-Pull-It yard and and you take care of it. Get all the stuff you need. So I'm pretty happy I did that. And I got all the stuff that I needed to finish the front end of the car. Let's see. Let me go back up here. Charlie Seidelman. Greetings all. Glad you're here. And Auto Salvage. Hello. How are you? I'm doing good. Hope you are as well. Rick, I like using a Suburban as a substitute for a frame machine. Yeah. The other thing you can do is hook it to a tree and just back away from it. I've done that before. But yeah, using the Suburban as an anchor point. Auto Salvage, thanks for everyone that has served in service. Yes, very much so. Robert, afternoon all, just realized it was Thursday. I'm hunting for my nibbler in the shop again, so mainly just listening. Okay. I like doing those scavenger hunts too. You have something that you want to use or you use frequently, and every so often you just hide it from yourself. And it gives you an opportunity to search your entire shop. And I'm in the middle of that right now because my little Osmo camera, which is over right there on the stand, has a white cord coming out of it. That's the one where it has the gimbal. So I can do a lot of cool stuff with that camera. But to do that, I have to have the Wi-Fi adapter. I used the camera the other day somewhere else. I took the Wi-Fi adapter off. And normally I set it in an obvious place, like, hey, dummy, you're going to need this in the future. Let me put it right here. Did I do that? No. So I don't know where my Wi-Fi adapter is. So I've been having to manually use the camera for some of the shots. A little more frustrating. And those Wi-Fi adapters are I think they're like $50. So it wouldn't be so bad if it was maybe a $20 item. But gosh, I don't know what I did with it. I just don't know. Auto Salvage, right, and brackets. Oh yeah, you're talking about the brackets, all that stuff. Yeah, for the U-Pull-It stuff. Phil, hi Barry. I can't remember what style of glue you used when you installed your headliner. Thank you. It was basically just like contact cement. The kit, when I ordered the kit from NPD, I think it was NPD. The glue came with it. And I can't tell you the specific name of it, but I think I showed it in the video. But it's really just like contact cement. It's all, it's nothing really complicated. Auto, if you have one hit, in the front, change hood hinges always. Yeah. I knew one was bad and I didn't get the other one done. I didn't, I thought, well, I can just save a buck or two and not change that one. Bad choice. Dave, loving the Civic rebuild. Can't wait for part 3. Yeah, the part 3 is going to be pretty good. I've actually filmed part 3 and part 4, and I'll be working on part 5. So yeah, and it's coming along. It'll be a good little car when I'm done with it. And the AC condenser, I salvaged it. Just so you know, somebody had commented on my second video. Just go buy another AC condenser. You'll never save it or something. And so I proved them wrong. Auto, right? And it saves a lot of money. Yeah, going to the you pull it saves a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah, salvage yard is the best to get parts. It is. It is because if you can, when you're doing these sort of things, if you can get OE parts, you're way further ahead. Even if you got to repaint everything, whatever, you're still way further ahead. But as it is, I think the fender for this car when I bought it, I don't know if it was $30, and the hood was less than 100. And I don't know what I did with I have all the receipts somewhere. I know somebody's been asking me what it would cost to rebuild this and what I'm going to have invested in it, what I expect to make from it. I really don't know, because I'll be honest. I like to be honest. That's how I am. I don't have any. This car was given to me. Just bring that right to the front. The car was given to me. All I had to do was go pick it up, because the place where it was at, they were selling the house, and the car had been sitting for a period of time, and they said, we got to get rid of this thing. We're selling the house. So a friend of mine, he was actually given the car. And then he couldn't do anything with it. He called me and said, hey, you want this car? Come get it. And I said, okay. So I went and got the car, and then I started, buying up parts. So hard to beat that deal. Marshall, oh, he's talking to Phil. The stuff Barry used was Weld on 1829. He had to order it through eBay. That's interesting. Weld on 1829. Thank you for that, Marshall. Appreciate that. Auto, right time, right. Sometimes you can find the right color part and you won't have to paint it. And that is very true. That is very true. And we had the body shop. We had a Ford Taurus come in, and I remember because it was one of those goofy colors, just a goofy looking color that they had, and right next to us was a junkyard. I mean, literally right behind the shop. And we looked at that car, and all it needed was a fender. I don't even think it needed a headlight or anything. The woman just wanted the fender replaced. So I went over to that junkyard, and sure enough, I found the exact fender for that car at the junkyard. All I did was bring it back to the shop, clean it, put it on the car. You could not tell the difference. You could not tell the difference at all. And what was more fun about that was the woman, she was kind of on a fixed income, but she wanted the car fixed. And we'd given her an estimate because, you buy the parts and you could easily have $200-300 in buying parts, material, whatever, just to get it looking right. And so the fun part was she came back to we told her the car's done like the next day. She's like, well, that was fast. Thank you. She came back to get it. And I think we had we only paid like $20-30 for the fender. And I think we charged her $100, to take it, put it on, just clean, make it look right, install it. So labor and time. And she was just so thankful, and it was just it was one of those good things that you could do. Greg, Barry, you pull it is the best for parts. We have them here. Yeah. And I'd forgotten that this place even existed anymore, because this road that it's on, it used to be a big, like, high dollar junkyard. And I mean high dollar. They were pretty proud of everything they had in there. And then there was like 4 junkyards on the road, on that road. Well, I know that the high dollar junkyard, they left. They went out of business. The one next to it went out of business, and the one next to it went out of business. And then the last one was still there. And I just haven't been out there. I know that there's other ones that shut down. And I think I remembered that the U Pullet Yard had taken over where the high dollar place was. But again, I haven't had to, haven't been over in that area for 10 years. So I'd completely forgotten about it. Just completely forgotten about it. Jerry, I've been installing the vintage air system. I've had to build a special extension to make the alternator mount. Now I need to fab an alternator adjustment arm. Yeah. Yeah. It sometimes you have to do some custom work, especially when you're, trying it in different place in, different cars. I know whenever I did the 168 at the body shop years ago, I had to do some custom fabrication. In fact, Jade, I had to do some custom fabrication because I integrated the power steering pump and the compressor, in the same kind of setup. Rick, I hope you have the security code for the radio. That's usually an annoying thing to deal with a Honda when you take the battery out. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check into that, but that's a thought. I hadn't thought about that, Rick. But you're right. That is one annoying thing. Brendan, hi Greg. Your English wheel build is looking good. From what I've seen of it, I agree. I haven't seen the whole build. I'm not all caught up, but I agree. Otto, we had a Chevy Lumina gave to us, and there's very little miles on it. It was parked since 2012. Today runs like a new one. Yep. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you end up seeing some stuff in the junkyard. It's just like, why is that here? I was walking around and I saw a, I don't know what year model I would say, 95 Trans Am. And it was the red one, had the big cowl hood on it, which I know is not a cheap hood. And it looked like it was in great shape, but somebody had, been salvaging parts off of it. And I thought, man, this car's in fantastic condition. And then I realized it had the 3800 engine in it. It wasn't a V8 car. It had the 3800. So that's why probably somebody was like, I don't want to mess with it, and just, got rid of it. Crash Rider, I was really surprised that you hadn't thought about using salvage parts, considering your background. Pull Apart in Louisville is one of my favorite places to visit. Yeah, I mean, I just forgot about it. When you're working on Mustangs and Camaros and Chevelles and all those sort of things, your focus gets pretty narrow as far as parts availability. A U-Pull yard or a junkyard just does not come to mind. You're just never get one there. So I think that's why I was out of focus on that. Auto salvage, our first place is Pull Apart. Yeah. I don't blame you. Look, hey, guess what? Today, I'm having a cold beverage. Still getting my caffeine. Marshall, if you need radio code, might look at the left side of the glove box, open it, look on the outside. That's where it is on my 04 Accord anyways. Now, was it there whenever did you put it there, or did somebody else put it there, or is there a sticker or something? Look on the left side of the glove box, open it, look on the outside. Huh. Well, I'll check that. Thank you. Brendan, with some of my old Falcons I've had, getting the stereo code, I just rung Ford New Zealand with the VIN number. Yeah, I don't know if Honda will do that, because I think I've had people try that before, and they want to charge you like $75 or something for that service. So I may not worry about it if it doesn't work. Angry Andy, I'm thinking about picking an Explorer 8.8 LSC rear end out from my 67 Mustang build. Yeah, that's a good choice. That is a good choice. So LSD limited slip. Good. Nick, anybody ever grind glass? How do you go about it? I have to fit my windshield. It's a little wide. That doesn't sound fun. And I've not ground a windshield. Why is it? What makes it a little wide? Did you do something to modify it, or modify your window opening? Did you narrow the car, Nick? Did you like taper it in, do some custom work? Otto, we do a lot of Copart cars, but we like to do the old cars, the old stuff you have to look in salvage yards because then parts are high in a book. Okay. Craig's Workshop. Yes, the English wheel is getting there. Thank you for your comments. Good. Marshall, factory sticker on mine. Interesting. Well, I will definitely have to look at that. Robert, the yards here in Texas are full of cars that would make the guys up north ask why they are there. The interior drivetrain costs more to fix than the car is worth because of the heat. Yeah, that is true. And there's many times where guys here in the South, they'll buy truck beds. I mean, as many as they can get, and they'll take them up north and sell them because the bed's down nothing. I mean, there's hardly any rust in these vehicles down here. So they can take truck beds up there and sell them all day long. Nick, it's a flush mount from that place you got glass from. They come about an 1/8 inch wide. 1/8 inch wide to fit to the opening. Okay, 1/8 inch wider, I guess. Rick, there's a sequence of numbers you push on the radio. A code comes up, which you give to a Honda dealer, and they can give you the necessary security code. Okay, interesting. Have to try that, maybe. Nick, yes, it's a 1-seater now. Cool. What was it? What was the monster truck? Awesome Kong. Who remembers Awesome Kong? Anyone remember Awesome Kong? Anyone? Let us know if you do. Awesome Kong was a monster truck in the late 80s. It was an F-150 that they made it like this wide. They took the whole truck and just narrowed it down to where it was a 1-seater. And the beauty of that was it looked great sideways. And the guy driving it, he could see the tires and everything. Nothing was in his way. So, yeah, I get it, Nick. Making it real narrow. Jerry, I have ground a window glass. You need a vertical sander and lots of lubricant. So when you say a vertical sander, are you talking like a belt sander? Is that what you're saying, Jerry? I'm not sure what you mean exactly by a vertical sander. Or an upright belt sander, maybe. Nick, I went for the Formula One mod. Okay. So it's narrow in the middle and wide at the front, right? It would be interesting to see somebody do something like that. And I'm not saying take an original car and customize it like that, but pull in the doors and who knows. Some of the crazy stuff you see people do, just because they can. Auto salvage. Where are you from, Joe? Well, I'm in Georgia right now. I live in Georgia, south of Atlanta, but originally I'm from Pennsylvania. Auto salvage. Yes, I do. You remember Awesome Kong? I have a picture. I think I have a picture of that truck from a rally monster truck show that we went to in Phoenix City, Alabama, maybe. I think is where it was. There's a racetrack down there, a dirt track we used to go down to. And I'm trying to remember what all they had there, but we used to go watch the dirt track cars. I don't know what that racetrack is called. I don't know if it is Phoenix City, but somewhere around Phoenix City, Alabama is where they had the dirt track. Jerry Money Pit, yes, a belt sander. Okay, so there you go, Nick. All you need is a belt sander and some lubricant. I'm assuming for the glass. Auto salvage, Bama here. Okay. Yeah, we visit Bama as often as we can. We've got a camper set up over there, and wouldn't mind moving there eventually. Not going to happen for quite some time, if ever. But yeah, we thought about it. So anyway, a couple things I was going to talk about too. I still have not opened the radiator from Alloy Works, but I did order some parts because I decided I am not going to fight with a radiator hose uh, with that's going to have to cross over underneath the front of the engine area. And what I'm talking about is on the 68, you have both water necks on the passenger side, and the later radiator, whether it was 69 or 70, I don't know exactly, but you have the water neck on the opposite side on the bottom. The problem is your water pump comes out on the passenger side on the 68, and I know on 60, it looks like 69 may actually be that way, or maybe mid-year they changed it. I don't know. But the 70 water pump, it comes out on the driver's side, which is what I need. So rather than try to make some sort of hose or adapter or something, I decided I'll just put on the 70 water pump and get the regular hose and just be done with it. So another thing that I ordered, and I'll have to go grab it, but I ordered the water pump and I ordered a new water neck. And let me go grab the water neck so I can show you what I'm considering for that. So give me just a minute. Talk to myself. So, put in the Dakota Digital gauges, and I have the temperature sensor for the gauges right behind the distributor on the intake manifold. Well, this radiator setup comes with dual electric fans that have a relay and a heat sensor, or temperature sensor to kick it on. And I thought, how am I going to connect the sensor? Because I already have one in the intake manifold, and I really didn't look at it very hard. I realize now there is another port on the intake manifold. It's a little further ahead and on the driver's side. But anyway, there's a port there. But what I'm thinking of doing is putting in this water neck. This water neck has a fitting. So it'll be on the forward side going towards the radiator. And I'm debating on whether I want to try to use that fitting, because I ordered this specifically for that purpose, use that fitting, or if I want to go back to the intake manifold and move over to the other port that is available. So any input on that, I would appreciate it. But at this point, I'm leaning towards using this water neck. Now, the only difference is the temperature that's going to hit that sensor will be a little cooler, let's say, than what's actually in the engine. And I may be able to fine tune if it has an adjuster. I hope it has an adjuster that you can tune it to what, where you want it to kick on at. So I plan to do, when I do the video on this, I'm going to get the car running, get it, up to temperature, and try to show, all right, auto salvage, we'll see you. Try to get it to show what the temperatures are at different points, right? So at the water necks, the top of the tank, variety of places. I want to kind of monitor that just to show when it's hot what the temperatures are. And then, of course, pull it out and put in this aluminum radiator and try to show the differences. Hopefully it'll be a good video, and people can get something out of it that'll help them with their projects as well. Nick, talking about the belt sander. That sounds horrible. Has to be a better way. Lubricant equals wobble pop. Okay. So how's everyone doing? Stop. He's back. Yeah, he's back. All right. And we have Tim. Tim, MC. Hey, all. Glad you're here, Tim. Auto salvage. Hello, Tim. Okay. And Dale, great idea. I was looking at that same neck. Yeah, it just makes sense to me that would work. I mean, obviously, that's probably why that port is there, right? And I think the nice part about it too is I say nice part. You want to have a clean engine bay, but it really is really hard to pull off when you have all kinds of stuff going on. All kinds of stuff going on. So I think what I'll do, um, this makes for a short run of wire, coming out of it and going over to the side somewhere. And as of right now, that's what I'm leaning towards doing that way. Ricard checking in. Good evening, all. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. So the other things that I'm looking at doing, I was playing with the Mazda 3, and I've had some input from some other people. There is a purge solenoid valve that could be causing the problem with the check engine light. So I will probably test that thing, and I may just replace it anyway. I don't know yet. It's not a very expensive thing to replace, but that's another thing to check on that car and see how it goes. The other thing, of course, with the Honda, I still have to go get some paint. I showed some pictures of it on Facebook, and the core support I've painted simply because they were not painted body color. It was kind of an slightly off color that they used and I don't have that color, and I wasn't going to go buy a pint just to make it close. So what I had was some silver or whatever, this silver gold color, left over from another Honda that I had done several years ago. About a half a quart left. And I looked at it, and the code is whatever it is, YR548 or something. And the other code was like YR505. And I took some on a paint stick, and I just, put it on the old core support. I was like, well, that's close enough. That's close enough. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it there. It's got the gold tone to it, which it would have had from the factory. So, okay. All right, Nick. Glad you were here. Okay. So, anyhow, I've got that core support, and what I was talking about was you don't want to paint it after it's in necessarily. You want to get it painted, or at least put some color on it in the areas you can't reach, because once it's welded in, I mean, you're pretty much done. It'd be, in some instances, get very difficult to get a paint gun in there and spray stuff. So what I like to do is just kind of back paint everything, get it welded in, grind the welds, and spray those with self etch, and just touch them up with a little more of that color. And the panel looks like it was always there, or you know what I'm saying. It's not going to be perfect, but it looks like it wasn't recently added. Let's say when you have a black core support popping out at you, you're like, oh, something's not right here. So just one of those things. Rick, do you have a bidirectional scan tool that will let you command the purge solenoid open or closed? I don't think I do. I have I have a simple scan tool, but I don't think it lets me perform any functions like that where I can cycle something. I don't think I have that. Jerry, grinding glass is not as bad as it sounds. However, a windshield is a bit larger than a window glass. You might use a angle grinder with a flap disc, depending on how much needs to be removed. That's a good point, Jerry. That is a good point. And probably a little easier to do. The belt sander, that sounds more difficult to me. Because you can take the glass and with the rotation of the disc, just have it knocking away rather than digging across, or if you slip or something with the belt sander, you might really mess things up. So, and Jerry, I would use WD-40 to keep the glass dust down. That's a good point. That is a very good point, Jerry. Robert, speaking of clean engine bay, I've ordered a wiring harness and will be running the headlight wiring outside the engine compartment, not using the factory firewall connectors anywhere. Okay. Interesting. And Robert, I can't stand the cheesy factory bullet connectors. They are horrible on trailers. Yeah. Okay. I get that. I get that. So how are you going to run it? You going to run it under the aprons? Is that what you're saying? Because I've seen people do that. Tuck it behind an apron, bring it all the way around. You don't see it, and that really does help clean up the engine bay. Um, and I've said before, I'm not overly excited about popping the hood and showing everybody the engine bay. I get it, but I'd rather just not necessarily. When your valve covers aren't all polished up and the air cleaner has a little dirt in it and uh, there's dust or stuff like that, it's just not fun to me to sit there and try to detail an engine that you're going to be driving the car anyway. So not quite high on my agenda uh, to make a super clean, detailed engine bay. Okay, so Robert says, "Yep, through the aprons, through the aprons." Because I've said, like I said, yeah, I've seen people running behind the aprons. I guess that's what you're saying. Is inside between in the inner fender area, around the shock tower. That's that sort of thing. I get that. That'll make it look nice. Get rid of some of the wiring. Good point. Even give you a bell. Rick Stevenson. Hello, everyone from West Virginia. Glad you're here, Rick. Hope it's going well. Robert, a dirty and paint chip classic car is a badge of honor, in my opinion. Yeah. That's where I've been on. I've been struggling with like the red 68. What I really want to do with that car. Do I really want to fix it all up, or do I just want to make it drivable? And just not worry about it. I kind of what's going to be the best choice there? Because you all know it's easy to get deep into these. Fix this, fix that, replace this, replace that. All these things, and then Ricard, the engine bay is the nicest part of my whole car now. And I will, I've seen your pictures and stuff of your engine bay, and it is nice. It is very nice. Okay, so Robert, Dawn is checking in. Hello and late again. Did you get the time change, Dawn? Did you do the time change? I'm glad you're here, Dawn. Appreciate you being here. Dominic, drivable and have fun with it. Yeah. Well, like I said, the Red 68, tentatively known as Red Dave, is it's going to need help. The interior's shot. The really bad part of the vent windows and stuff like that, they are really, really, really bad. I've never seen any that were coming apart internally like these are. Chrome is just buckled off of it. And vent windows aren't cheap. Nothing's cheap anymore. But if I could find a good set of used ones to put in, I'd probably do that. And I've got all the leftover parts from Jade, which actually had decent bumpers on it and decent taillights and all that stuff. So it would be easy to kind of just, I don't know, put it together as a crusty driver. And maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know yet. I keep going back and forth. Other ideas I have are to not get it to a point where it has to have a $10,000 paint job. Make it smooth, but I've considered just doing a flat color to it, like a flat gray or something along those lines. No clear coat. Just do it as a single stage, and have it get flat. That might happen, because then there's no sanding and buffing. You can't sand and buff a flat car. Not going to happen. So, just some of the things that I've been tossing around. Dawn, yes, deep into it. Yes, yeah, you can definitely get deep into these cars, and you have. You know what I'm talking about. Greg's workshop is checking out. Got to go. All right, glad you're here, Greg. So, those are some of the ideas that I've been playing with the red car. I will point out, people have asked about the '67 coupe. I started reaching out to find a vendor for the parts, and so far, the guy that I had been talking to in the past hasn't responded. So I don't know if he's busy or what's going on, but I need to, pursue him because he had the best prices, and obviously that's what I want to go with. So I'm waiting to hear back from him, and I'm not in a hurry. I have time, because once the Honda's out of here, the Camaro is coming next. Camaro is coming next. Let me see here. What we got, Robert? Anyone want a Fairlane air cleaner before I finally scrap it? Not worth shipping, in my opinion. Somebody might. Somebody. What year Fairlane? And Robert, Dawn says send him a pic. Okay. I might be able to coordinate an email on that if you guys need me to. Ray, flat colors seem to be a thing these days. Yeah. And even even some modern cars, they've done some flat style paint jobs. And I'm not against it. I like it. I think it looks cool. And I think on one of these Mustangs, it might actually be a good twist. Because, like I said, it's one thing to have shiny and clear coat, color sand and buff and all that. But why not a subdued kind of color? Just to throw it off, put on some, maybe put on some black wheels, and just kind of tone it down instead of trying to make it pop out so much. Yeah, we could. Robert, you could just send me a picture of that right now if you wanted to, that air cleaner, and then I could share it on here if you want to. If not, we'll do a coordinated email with Don and see what he thinks. Because I'm not going to be on here very much longer. Just letting you know. It's already been 48 minutes, and I've got other things to do. But if anybody has any other questions or comments or ideas or anything like that, by all means, let me know. We'll give it a couple minutes, because I really don't, I'm pretty much set on what I'm doing at this point with the Honda, the Mazda, and of course the Camaro. Camaro's coming in here. It's going to be next. And I know that's going to get some people interested. I know that. So, okay. All right. At that note, I'm going to call it a day. Robert, if you want to, okay. So he's going to send me a picture of that. We'll find out. And Ray, it looks good on some cars. Yeah, it does. Talking about the flat. And again, I'm not committed to that just yet. Wait, Robert, what? Not sure what it is. On the way. It's not showing up yet, Robert. Not sure what it is exactly, though. Okay. Oh, for the air cleaner. Okay. We'll give you a minute to send that. Crash Rider, Red Dave, do the repairs that most people wouldn't be able to accomplish, but would be a good project. Do the repairs that most people wouldn't be able to accomplish, but still would be a good project. Well, okay. I can see that. Ricard, not a Camaro guy, but I'll watch anything you post. Good. Well, I think the Camaro is going to be it's going to be an interesting build because the car, the previous videos showing the car and it was rolled over and it's a mess. And I really think people will be interested in seeing that because it's one thing to buy a rusted out car or even a wrecked car, but something like this where it's pretty deep going into it is going to be interesting. Ray, didn't you say you had a big block for the Camaro? I have two big blocks. The Camaro, I don't plan to build the whole car. I'm not planning to build the whole car. One time I did plan to build the whole car, and I was going to put an LS engine in it with a 4L60. I was going to do that, but now I don't want to do that. I just want to do the sheet metal work, get the car together, have it in either epoxy or high build, and sell it to somebody else. Okay. So, you know what? I'll just show you this picture real quick, since he has sent me the picture. We'll go ahead and get it. Get it up here quick, so you can see the air cleaner. And I'm with you, Robert. I have no idea what that may be for, but that's all I have for a picture. Let me pull this comment off. So I don't know if Dawn, if anybody's interested in that air cleaner, then Robert has it. Let's see. Dominic, what year Camaro? It's a 68. If you go to my channel after this and you look up basket case Camaro, I bought this car, I don't even know how long ago, 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember. And it was a rollover. And somebody else had got it and they started trying to fix it. And they butchered it. And, I had plans to get it built. I ended up building another 68 Camaro, and then I built four Mustangs, and the Camaro has sat outside under a tarp and been waiting. So, Brian, I'm a Ford guy, but I'm too looking forward to the Camaro. Yes, thank you. Ford guy 65. Hi, all. Glad you're here. Brian, what did that Camaro start life as? It was a V8 automatic car, and I don't remember the codes on it right now as to whether it was probably just a simple base model, I think. But I don't remember. I'll have to research that a little bit. But yeah, I know it was a V8 automatic. That's about as far as I can tell you. And Brian, RS or base model. Yeah, I'm going to guess base. What's and the cool part about it, I say cool part. The car, because I'm a fan of green. I like green for some reason. I like green and blue. And that car, if you look at the rear of it, it was originally green. And the guy who got it started to make it yellow. He was working on the firewall and he painted the firewall yellow. I don't see it. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to paint it, any particular color. I'm just saying I like the green that was on it because it still has the original, like on what's left of the tail panel. The dealer decal or something is on the back of it. And I think the car needs to stay green. Just my opinion. Dominic, definitely will check out the vid after this. Yeah, there's two videos that I did, basket case 1 and 2. And yeah, it's going to be quite the project. Yeah, Ray says, ooh, yellow. Yeah. Well, yellow's not bad, on a Camaro as long as it's got the stripes and the rally wheels and all that stuff, but I think it looks better with the green. Brian, well, looking forward to that build. Hope everyone has a good evening. Yes. Okay. With that, I'm going to call it a day. I've got things to do, and it's been great having everybody here and communicating and sharing ideas and talking about stuff. So hopefully everything goes smooth this weekend. Everybody have a good weekend. And we'll be back on Monday night at 7. And that's going to be it. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.